Hello and welcome back everybody to the Foodbuild factory, where today we're going to take a look at the Gourmet. This is the lovely fellow you can see here on the screen. And for the first half of the video I'm going to show you some gameplay, while in the latter half of the video I'm going to talk a little bit about the build, about the equipment used and the mutations. So let's get right into it. So I hope we can still get some gameplay before the sun sets. And we're here at the Sons of Dane compound, as you can see. So we're firstly going to start kill some ghouls, which are always nice, especially if you can chop them up right. Okay, that was not a good hit. So yeah, I think first person works better. Alright. Well, I'm going to take out the ones that are in this here hut, but I think we call it a day then. So we're not going to single-handedly take down every little ghoul here. I think you got the point. I'd rather... Okay, I hear something. Yeah, fuck off. So we're following the road. This should lead us somewhere to the Red Rocket Mega Truck stop. And I know that on the way there are some random encounters and even a Deathclaw, so we can probably show some good gameplay here. But I feel like you can already imagine how it's going to went down. Okay, this is interesting here. I think we can take him some mutant hound chops here. Okay, this was a power attack, and yeah, as you can see, if we combine a power attack with the sprint attack, we're getting a lot of damage in. So, oh, if I recall correctly, on the left of us there should be a Scorch Beast. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try my luck. I don't have a shotgun or the enforcer perk on me, so we just have to hope that... Yeah, I just figured if there was a ghoul that followed me all the way from the Sons of Dane compound, but nope. Okay. You're gonna lose stock. Back to the topic. Yeah, I'm going to aggro the Scorch Beast and hope it's going to land. If so, we can see how we're fighting a Scorch Beast, but yeah, I just have to hope, because I don't have a way of crippling him and I don't want to swap in and out perks for this video. I can assure you that the weapon and the build work quite well against Scorch Beast once they are on the ground, and I can already hear the combat music. Okay, where? Now I hear the wings. But where's the... Ah, okay, there it is. Even a level 81. Okay. So take down its kids. Okay, maybe we should take the fight to the street where it's a bit more open, space. So maybe he decides to land. Well, doesn't look like it really. Huh? Come on. Nah. Well, we're just going to make our way further north. If the Scorch Beast decides to land... Did it land? Yeah. No, still is dust attack. Yeah, earlier I was really lucky when I was testing this build. Somehow the Scorch Beast all decided to land fairly quickly. But, well, doesn't seem like it now. That's... yeah, well... Get off my lawn. Alright. Let's actually talk a little bit about the build. So, as you can see here, we're trying to constantly be on the move. Our main way of dealing damage are power attacks, which we don't need for basic mobs like these gangrenous ghouls here, as you could see. It's more reserved for higher level super mutants and such, but it doesn't seem like we're encountering them here. Well, maybe we have luck at the truck stop. Anyways, as for the appearance of the character, we're rocking mostly leather armor with only a metal chest piece. As for those of you who are wondering about the spikes on the arms, those come with the brawling mod. Okay, that's actually quite a challenge. I hate these guys. Those come with the brawling mod. That's a mod for the arm pieces, which at least states that it improves unarmed damage. I never really tested it, and I can remember someone online saying that only one piece works, the other one will basically don't add anything. But I decided to go for it on both arms simply for the looks. It's not really necessary though, so you can choose whatever you like. Yeah, what else can we say here? Well, the downsides of the build, obviously, as with most melee builds, we don't have range. So as you could see with the Scorch Beast, unless they decide to land, you're going to have a problem fighting them. If you play all by yourself, it's not that big of a problem. You just use Enforcer and use a shotgun, or use a heavy weapon combined with one gun army or something to cripple their wings, and they're going to land. I just don't like to switch perks in and out during the video because I just want to show you the build that I decided to go with. As for the appearance and everything, this guy is a cannibal, and he's a big fan of the formerly known raider gang, the Gourmets. He learned about them through audio logs and such. What are they attacking now? Yeah, rats. And he is a cannibal, so you can see here we can quench our hunger. Yeah, sure. We can fill our hunger meter by eating ghouls, or what else works? Well, super mutants, scorched, and obviously humans. As we are a full health build, we don't really have to worry about some rats. It's not a problem at all. And well, as the sun is going down, this is pretty much it for the gameplay. As you could see here, we're not exactly a tank build. We can tank some damage, but we want to be on the move, dish out some damage, and then we're going to heal off again with an auto-stim piece or anything like that. So that was unnecessary. Well, on to the build. Here we're going to talk about the perks that are involved. First and foremost, strength. We want to have strength 15, simply because it directly influences the damage output of our weapon. The mandatory picks here are Iron Fists, Incisor, and Martial Artist. I choose Pack Rat, Bandolier, and Traveling Pharmacy simply for the convenience. You can take whatever you want here. One thing that would be beneficial would be maybe instead of Bandolier you could take Blocker, which reduces incoming melee damage. Onto Perception. We don't need anything in Perception, that's why I went with Butcher's Bounty, which isn't really necessary either, but it fits our build and our aesthetics as a meat lover always. We're using food buffs, which are plenty for melee and unarmed builds. What I used now was 10% extra damage from mutant hound chops, which are plentiful. Our next stat that we're going to have a lot of is Endurance. It gives us a lot of hit points, which help because we're not running around in power armor or the heaviest armor at all. We do have some mixed in perks that help with hunger and the cannibal perk. In an optimal world, you could use 3 ranks of cannibal and 3 ranks of lead belly. That would probably be the best, or iron stomach. Mandatory picks here are adamantium skeleton and fireproof and rejuvenated. Obviously cannibal is here because we want to play as a cannibal, but that's just more or less a role-playing thing. Adamantium skeleton is bugged at the moment, at least I heard so, and I feel like it is, but I hope it's going to be fixed sooner or later. I did play solo in this playthrough, but this can be used as a team focus build with philanthropist and inspirational, which means with philanthropist and rejuvenated, which we can share due to our 6 charisma, we're going to provide our team with food and water, so they're always well fed and well hydrated, which then leads to them having extra benefits from being well fed and hydrated because of rejuvenated that we share. So they get a little bit more HP, a little bit better AP refresh, and disease resistance. Sorry, I had a hanger here. Inspirational is here because, as you can see, we're not the most intelligent person, and we do take some debuffs from our mutations, so a little bit of extra XP never hurts. Agility, we're in a nice middle ground. We're not the most agile person, but we do have room for Action Boy, Marathoner, and Through Hiker. Instead of Through Hiker, what would be a good idea would be Adrenaline, or what also would be a good idea is White Knight here. I choose Through Hiker because you're going to run around with a lot of food, but I also have a lot of Nuka-Cola and Nuka-Cola Quantums and such on me, so it was kind of necessary. But if you can spare it, the better pick would be White Knight or Adrenaline for damage. And the last stat is going to be Luck, which sits at 9, 3 for Bloody Mess, 3 for Class Freak, 2 for Starch Jeans. Class Freak and Starch Jeans, well, we're having a lot of mutations on this character. We don't want to lose them, and we can afford to take Class Freak to mitigate the debuffs. Last thing we have here is 1 rank of Good with Salt, which again fits the theme a little bit. You can really start to gather up some foods to buff your build. You can obviously take a little bit less Class Freak, like rank 1 or 2, and put more into Good with Salt. Could prove beneficial, but well, it's not mandatory. Onto our mutations. First and foremost, the effects as we see them here. As you can see, we have 4 addictions. Perfect world, we would have 5. I just didn't have the chems on me and didn't want to transfer them from another character simply for 1 more addiction, which would mean 10 more damage. We were already powerful enough, and it would just be a permanent 10% more damage if we choose another addiction. But we do have the Blight, which is tragic. We do still have some buffs from our mutant hound shops though. We are well fed. Here we can see the benefits from being well fed with rejuvenated are plus 50 to our max HP and plus 35 to our disease resistance. Onto our mutations. Adrenal Reaction, Bird Bones, Electrically Charged, Marsupial, Speed Demon, Talons, Twisted Muscle, Unstable Isotope. These are quite a few. As I mentioned earlier, Electrically Charged and Unstable Isotope are leftovers from another build that I wouldn't have included here if they weren't already here. And the only thing that I really wish I had here, but I didn't find in some vendors and I thought I could make the video without it, is the Carnivore mutation, which simply makes your buffs through food, mainly only through meat, but we're only going to eat meat, better, and also makes our cannibal perk more efficient. And last thing I'm going to show you here is the weapon I already told you, but here you can see it again. It's a Junkies powered attack meat hook with extra strength. Junkies on its own would be enough. As you can see, we have a lot of swing speed anyways, so we don't need the swing speed. The powered attack is simply pretty useful when we go against Scorch Beasts. And the extra strength is, yeah, it's never bad. You can go with anything though. So I did something similar with a 1-star Junkies meat hook a few weeks back, and it was working quite fine. It's just this would pretty much be the pinnacle of what you could have. Swing speed could arguably be great, but it's either Junkie swing speed or Junkie's power attack. And for apparel, our left leg is a single auto-stim piece, which is already broken, but the effect still works. We have 3 pieces of bolstering armor. We don't use the sneak effect, and we receive 15% less limb damage. That's nice. The Cavalier piece, well, it doesn't hurt, but 1 piece of Cavalier won't do you all that much of a favor. And the last thing here is a 1-star life-saving piece. As you could see here, out of our 5 armor pieces, 2 are already broken, so that's why we struggle a little bit at the end with the ghouls. But usually our health situation looks worse than it is, simply because bolstering kicks in when we are at low health, so we usually get tankier once we get down with our health a little bit, and if shit really hits the fan, we still have our auto-stim piece. And well, I'd say that's everything about now. The only thing worth mentioning, I don't want to forget, is when you're on a team, you want to share Rejuvenated, as I said, and your role would be to provide your team with small buffs while also dishing out a lot of damage. The only thing is, if you are on a public team, don't share Rejuvenated unless you talk to the other persons or you don't have a bloodied build in your team. Because Rejuvenated can mess with bloody teams, as you're basically buffing their maximum HP, and let's say they are at 20% health. You give them another 50 HP. This 50 HP will make it so that they are at like 25 or 30% of their health. So they then have to take some radiation in order to get back under 20% health, in order for their build to really work. And if you really fuck up and don't keep them well fed, and they lose their 50 HP buff from Rejuvenated, they drop immediately down to... You, my friend, made a big mistake. Well, if this isn't a good end for our video, I don't know what would be. So guys,